Hey, Good Sam, this is Pastor Jed. I was cooking with my daughter the other day. We were making breakfast for dinner. I love that. And my job in this routine is to make the pancakes. It turns out that pancakes are really simple to make. They only have a few ingredients. The Apostle Paul reminds us that faith only has a few ingredients also. Walking with Jesus, he tells us in 1 Corinthians 13 that it takes faith, hope, and love. What's really interesting is we love to talk about love. We love it. Love is something that we sing about. Love is something that we discuss. Love is something that we can diagram. Think of all the sermons that you've heard on God's love. We love love, and we love faith. I mean, think of all the sermons you've heard about faith. Think about our faith statement. But when it comes to hope, we don't really hear that much about hope. We don't really know how to describe hope. We don't know how much hope we have. And so we're in a series where we're looking at hope. We're asking the question, God, how much hope do we currently have? And God, how much hope do you want us to have? How can we grow the amount of hope that we have in our hope tank? On Sunday, we were reminded that hope is not just wishful thinking, like, I hope it rains today, or I hope it doesn't rain, or I hope you have a nice day. Hope is something that is grounded in who God is. Hope, it helps us to face forward. Hope, it propels us out the door. It helps us to have hard conversations. It helps us to become more like Christ. When we launched, we looked at Romans chapter 5, verses 1 through 5. We're reminded that hope gives us something to celebrate. It gives us something to shout from the rooftops. Hope, it opens up the relationship that we've always dreamed of. It gives us peace with God. And so we don't have to run from God. We don't have to hide from God. We don't have to pretend that we're better than we are. No, hope reminds us that Jesus has come and that Jesus has invited us into a relationship with God, and that gives us peace. But Paul also reminds us that hope, it is built upon something. He reminds us that suffering, which is a part of our daily lives, it can produce something good. We don't thank God for the suffering that we're in, but we thank God for what the suffering will produce. Paul reminds us that suffering produces perseverance. It's this idea of marching through something that is really challenging, really hard, but we're keeping our heads up. We're keeping our eyes tuned to what God wants us to do and what God wants us to be. It reminds us that God will carry us through this season of hardship. And that this perseverance, it will lead to this character development, which leads to more hope. And ultimately, this hope drives us deeper in our relationship with God. And so hope isn't based on our external circumstances. Hope is based on our internal commitment to love and to follow and to trust in God. On Wednesday, we're gathering together for Wednesday Night Live. And so if you didn't get everything that you could have out of that last sermon, we're gathering together. We're going to eat. We're going to enjoy a meal together. We're going to gather together in small groups, and we're going to discuss how God is developing this deep hope within us. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday at 5:30. Blessings.